Canada in F123 is a track that is right up there with my most enjoyable circuits. It's fast and flowing with a really good combination of mid to high speed corners and long straights. This track can lead to some of the more enjoyable races due to the ease of overtaking thanks to those long straights, combined with a constant danger of those walls being pretty close by. This track really requires good consistency levels, especially when throwing your car through the fast right-left chicanes at high speed, because any misplacement will either lose you time or throw you off track. Now, our aero setup really prioritises the rear of the car. While good front end responsiveness is important, it's absolutely vital to ensure you have a car that sticks to the road when accelerating out of the fast chicanes. If you have a slightly rear loose end, you'll really struggle to get the power down out of these corners, and it'll be easy pickings along the straights that follow. Go with 23 at the front of the car and 24 at the rear. This will induce a little bit of understeer, but this is much more manageable than an unpredictable rear end. A transmission setup of 50% for both your on-throttle and off-throttle diff will also target these fast corners. The low on-throttle differential will improve the ease when accelerating out of each corner, helping you apply more throttle sooner. And the low off-throttle differential will help to combat some of the understeer from our aero setup. It allows the car to rotate more on the approach to corners. For the suspension geometry, go with -2.6 and -1 for the camber, and then go with 0.02 and 0.16 for the toe. Again, the rear toe value has been increased to help with rear stability, although this will provide a very minor penalty to a little bit more drag down the long straights. However, our low downforce approach more than compensates for this. For the suspension, run an unusually soft front suspension at just 17 and a soft rear at 14. Then go for 7 and 2 on the anti-roll bars and 33 and 36 for the ride height. This approach will let you ride up and over those rather large curbs that are at the apex of every corner around Canada. This is key to shortening the corners, especially through the fast chicanes. An overly stiff car will almost always result in loss of control over these large curbs. For the brakes, opt for a very usual approach of 100% brake pressure and 54% brake bias. We can get away with a slightly lower brake bias around Canada, as this approach is preferable to faster corners where you don't need to slow down the car as much. Then for the tyres, set the front pressures to 22.6 psi to promote pretty good responsiveness, and set the rear pressures to 20.2 psi, as this will aid traction and help keep the rear of the car planted to the track surface. And that will complete our Canada car setup for F123. You'll notice that this setup focuses heavily on ensuring the rear of your car remains as compliant as possible. This is very important to maximise your corner exit speed and the speed that you carry onto the straights that follow. Let me know if you enjoy this track as much as I do in the comments below. And also, I'm releasing F123 videos daily, so if you want to be notified, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. But for now, go out there and enjoy this setup, and I will see you on track.